Nice to see Todd Sachse back with us, the president of Sachse Construction, because he's always got something good going on. He's responsible for the overall direction of the company, oversees the day-to-day sales, accounting, administration, estimates, field operations activities. He's the founder of Sachse Construction Company, and he's developed a loyal clientele of high-end customers who require detailed expertise in design and construction. He also undertakes construction projects that include renovation of vintage buildings, office buildings, hotels, schools, shopping centers, medical office and general office buildings, builds to suits, retail centers, restaurants, airports, development. How do you have time to be here with us with a list like this, Todd? I don't get this.
Hang out with fun people like you. I always find time for that.
And the man started as a kid washing windows.
And the rest is history.
And I understand you still wash a pretty good window.
I wash a pretty good window.
I bet you do.
Still got my old squeegees, you know.
Well, you ought to have those framed and put in your office.
Framed? I got to use them.
He's not giving up on them. He hasn't given up on that business. Good for you.
Kidding?
Good for you, Todd. And I just saw a picture of something else you've been working on. I think we talked about it before. Tell us a little bit about this, the latest project or biggest one that we can see right on Woodward Avenue.
That's called the Scott at Brush Park. It's 199 apartments, about 15,000 square foot of retail. 300-car parking deck. It will open up. Occupancy will be December of this year, of 2016, and it will be the most luxurious, high-end, high-service, high-quality apartment complex in the city, with amenities that do not exist anywhere else.
Have you already started taking orders for these?
We have a website right now, kind of a teaser website, thescottdetroit.com, where people are just kind of putting their names in who are interested in learning more. And our leasing office is opening up right across the street at Woodward and Erskine, directly across the street from the project. It'll be open up in the next week or two. So we'll have a leasing office for people to come in and learn a lot more.
And then think about that. It says, well, you're up Woodward Avenue. Kind of that's not really downtown, but, there's this M1 rail thing that'll get you anywhere you want up and down downtown, so it might be just a perfect location.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of say it's in Brush Park, so it's 2 blocks south of Mac, and it's 2 blocks north of the new arena. So you can walk to Whole Foods, you can walk to the arena to do an event, you can walk another 5 blocks and be right downtown. So it's kind of in the middle of everything and access to everything, whether you're walking, riding a bike, or as you say, the rail, which I think they're talking about is opening in the fall of 17.
Yes.
So within about 9 months after we're done, there'll be the rail will be open too.
Pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, just pause and understand what's happening, folks.
Well, understand that one of the biggest problems we have is a place to live now in Detroit, in the city. And this is going to take care of a lot of that in a very big way.
Yeah. I mean, people want what I would call middle-class housing for the state of Detroit. So you think about, people talk about how expensive the new apartments are these days, but they really are servicing the middle class. And there's really no product in downtown or midtown. And actually, there's very little product in downtown and midtown to service that the working class people here that are working downtown and midtown, whether it be at the hospitals or at the businesses downtown or at Wayne State University. That is a quality product, because nothing new has been built in the city in decades. So it's all old stuff, and even the old stuff, up until the last couple of years, none of it was getting renovated. So there just wasn't quality product for people to live in. But there's a demand for it, and we're going to fill it.
This is fabulous news, because there is a demand for it, and if you're going to work hard, you want to reward yourself with a nice place to live.
Sure.
And I haven't seen anything, but when you sit here and tell me, Todd Sachse, that this is going to be the best that we've had in downtown Detroit for housing, I believe you. But walk us through. What are you talking about? A lot of 2 or 3 bedroom units?
So which is everything interesting. We're going to have some efficiencies, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. A lot of the new products are not building 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, but we believe that market is going to grow. Number one, we think that young families are going to be actually living here. They're going to want 2 bedroom apartments and maybe even 3 bedroom apartments. And think about it. Your children don't go to school until age 5 in kindergarten, and maybe by then, young families, maybe by then the schools will continue to get better and better.
Well, they have to.
Exactly. So the thought that every family or everybody, as soon as they have kids, are going to move out of the city, I don't buy that. We think that things are going to continue to trend positively, and that we want to make sure that we have product on the market for that. The other value of a 2-bedroom apartment is sometimes you have young professionals that just share an apartment,
space, yep.
right? Or have an apartment and the second bedroom becomes a den or whatever you want it to be. So, so it's going to have that. And then the amenities will be over the top. There's going to be a podium pool, almost like a Miami-style pool, with sun shelf where you put the lounge chairs, right in the water. 365-day a year outside spa jacuzzi with heated deck. So all year round you can use the spa jacuzzi outside on the deck. Conference rooms, libraries, lounges, 24-hour concierge service, just, a tremendous amount of amenities to service.
Do you know
clients.
ballpark costs yet or not?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be in the, $2 to $2.20 a square foot for an apartment, which is similar to what you're getting right now. We're getting that at the Albert in downtown. They're getting that at the David Whitney building. So it's pretty much what the new developments are getting today.
But this really is a new development for those prices.
New. This
brand new.
This is ground up, brand new. Parking is all in the building, all enclosed, climate controlled. So all your parking is underground and protected from the elements.
And because it's brand new, do you have different laws and rules? Like, do you have to have sprinklers, for example, where other buildings don't?
Yeah, I mean, fully suppressed throughout the entire building.
I think for me, that's a big selling point, to tell you the truth.
And it just has, just because it's a brand new building, you can do things that you just can't do in an old historic renovation. Obviously, it's kind of a, pros and cons of both, right? Old historic building, you get some really beautiful, interesting architectural elements as a part of it, but you just can't provide all the amenities.
You don't get necessarily the bigger bathrooms, the bigger closets, the higher ceilings.
Yeah, washers and dryers, in the units that are vented and, all those type of things. And then we're doing, fun things that we're doing, like our whole dog washing room where you go and groom your dog.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and a bicycle, literally a bicycle shop in the building where you take your bicycle and we provide all the tools and racks. So if you want to work on your bicycle, that kind of thing. And just stuff that is really what urban homeowners want today and need right there at their fingertips.
Todd Sachse with us. He's the president of Sachse Construction. He really did start out as a kid as a window washer, and I just saw that in the paper recently, and I read it, and I had even a greater appreciation for what you've accomplished, Todd, and the enthusiasm you have for the ScottDetroit.com if you want to get some information at this beautiful new place being built at Scott at Brush Park, opening in December of 2016. Where do you get your ideas to put into these, like the dog or the bike thing or whatever?
Craziness. No, it's really, to be perfectly frank, it's not totally unique around the country. So
that's okay. I like it when people see great ideas elsewhere and bring them to us.
Willing to risk them to put them here.
Right. So we've traveled around the country to Minneapolis, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, Columbus, and looked at dozens and dozens and dozens of other developments that have all been developed in the last 3 to 5 years around the country. And then you just go online and see what people are doing. We interviewed property managers around the country to find out what residents are asking, what do they want, what do they love about the developments that they're doing, so we can make sure we bring it here. Because a lot of that just isn't here in southeastern Michigan yet. And this is all being done in these other urban cities. And because of what the great things that are happening in Detroit, why don't Detroiters deserve all these things? They do. They deserve it. They want it. And it's been proven around the country that this is what homeowners and renters want.
And the fact that Detroiters now say we can have this stuff allows you to build this stuff.
Exactly.
That we're going to stay. We're here for the long term. Mm-hmm. We're part of this rejuvenation. This part of this rebirth. And why can't I have a thing like that? And then it becomes a competitive environment that the other building owners say, I have to step up my game. The next new project comes with more amenities, and then it's a very viable working city for, like you said, middle-class folks that just need a place to live that's convenient, that works out really well.
Yeah, I mean, our real estate company, which is Broder and Sachse Real Estate Services, which is actually the developer and owner of all of our properties, I mean, that arm manages thousands and thousands of apartments. So just because of that, we have access to the rental community, and we ask them, what do you want? What are we missing? What's missing in our marketplace? And our, marketing program there is just reaching out to find out what people want.
Well, and you're at the sweet spot right now, aren't you? I mean, this is pretty good timing. If you had done this 5 years ago, you'd be concerned. If you did it 5 years from now, you'd be late. So aren't you kind of at the sweet spot?
We think so, but call me in 10 years. I'll tell you whether it's a good idea or not.
I don't think I have to wait 10 years.
Right. But we're very excited. I mean, the Albert and Capitol Park we brought online about 2 years ago. It's just been a smashing success. We're 100% leased. We have a waiting list there. Great customer feedback there. People love it. And, so which is great. The community is definitely enjoying the new product that people are bringing out.
And the demand is there for more and more product. Don't you agree?
We think so. We believe that over the next 5 years, there's probably demand of 1,000 to 1,200 units a year. That is, that the market can absorb. And if you really think about it, that's a very little number. So if you just take 5 years, let's just say it's 1,000 to 1,200, so it's 5,000 to 6,000 units over a 5-year period. In any other city, that would be nothing. I mean, that would be, one block in Chicago or a couple blocks in Minneapolis or Atlanta. So there's so much room for growth and opportunity, but obviously it's has to happen in an organic way because people don't just drop what they're doing and move. So it takes time to build that. And I think the more that come, the more will come. Because the more people that come to live here, then services will follow, right. Restaurants, retail, just more people walking around and being a part of the community attracts more people.
Well, my son lives down there in that area, just down the street from the Whole Foods you mentioned, so It's got to be in your specific area. Yep. He is in an undeveloped building, I don't know a better way of putting it, who lives in fear that somebody's going to step in and buy the building and kick him out. Right. So, I mean, there's so much going on, but there's nothing like new construction.
Right.
I mean, there really isn't. Yeah. And you've already said what the market is basically $2 to $2.20 per square foot. Mm-hmm. What square footage are you looking at from the smallest to the largest?
So their probably efficiencies are in the 500 square foot up to the 3 bedrooms, which are 1,100 or 1,200 square foot. So kind of everything in between. I forgot the number, but I think in the building there's over 20 different floor plans. So there's a lot of different opportunities depending upon where in the building it is, and obviously the size and so on and so forth.
And you already said the amenities include, I didn't quite understand the description of the swimming pool. Did you say a Miami swimming pool?
Well, it's kind of a Miami style. Like
what does that mean?
Well, like you would see it like a Miami hotel resort where, it's a big, beautiful pool, and then part of the pool is got a 12-foot by 25-foot wide, 12 inches deep of water, and you actually take the lounge chairs and you set them in the water. So when you're lying in the lounge chair, you're actually kind of, not in the water, but on top of the water, and you kind of walk around.
See, that's how long it's been since I've been to Miami.
Right.
Or lounged around a pool. Around a pool.
Right, exactly. You kind of around the pool, you're kind of lounging in the pool. Yeah. Right? It's I learned the term from our pool people. It's called a sun shelf. So now I learned a new term in the pool industry when we were developing that.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Is there any part of this that you don't like? Because you seem to really thrive on this sort of thing. You have such enthusiasm, Todd.
Yeah. No, we love it. We love what we do. You're creating something, and even the process of creating it is really fun. Whether it be the design process in a new development and come up with the ideas, to the building of it and dealing with the people who are involved, everything from the tradespeople to the architects to the engineers. You take a lot of pride in it. You're creating spaces that people enjoy, and whether it's multifamily, they live there, or an office building they work at, it's exciting.
And you're part of the creating and rebirth of a great American city. And in this rebirth, there's a lot of skilled trades and tradespeople you need. How are you solving that?
Very challenging. So if you did look back a little bit, in 2008 and 2009, when we had the Great Recession, as we call it, a ton of people in the trades either did one of two things. Either they left, They left the trades and found a different career. Or in the Detroit metropolitan area, many of them moved out. They literally left the area because, if in different parts of the country, there was a national recession, but it was worse here than it was in many, many parts of the country. It started sooner. So whether it be home building or construction, all types of construction, a lot of the trades left. So now here things are doing well, but there's not enough trades. So it's a real challenge.
It's a problem a lot of people are facing.
Correct.
That's for sure. We're trying to work on it to be better for the future, but the future is now for you because you're building. Yeah,
I'm questioning whether we're working on it as much as we should be or with the right approach.
And we're going to have to leave it at that. We'll put the little bug in everyone's ear. Todd Sachse, president of Sachse Construction. Go to thescottdetroit.com and see what he's enthusiastic about, and I think you'll get enthusiastic about it as well. Thanks for being with us as always, Todd.
Thank you.
As we continue on Opportunity Detroit.